Hello and welcome to Big Blue News. My name is Quinn.
And my name is Joey. Let's waste no time and get into the first story. The proposed pickleball court at Phillips Park has been rejected for the second time in 4 months in a 96-88 vote. Town meeting members rejected the vote due to parking, noise, and flooding complaints. Residents voiced concerns about flooding as the courts would have been built in a flood-prone area, with floods becoming more frequent due to climate change. Voters turned down a state grant of $56,000 that would have partially funded the approximate $103,870 cost of the courts. The pickleball courts are a very divisive topic among Swampscott residents. We expect to hear more in the coming months.
World-famous manga artist and creator of Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama, passed away on March 1st at the age of 68 due to a subdermal hematoma. Toriyama has been writing and drawing for over 40 years, and the impact of his death is felt throughout the entire globe. From the Japanese community all the way to the Latino community, people are still dealing with the hole that Toriyama left behind. Although many people are upset, they have been trying to focus on his legacy instead of the tragedy of his death. World-famous series Dragon Ball has been a vast presence throughout the globe since 1986, a fan favorite for 38 years. Toriyama was drawing manga back in a time when critics suggested that reading or drawing manga would make you stupid. Thanks to Toriyama, we have a community where people can bond over their favorite shows and characters. Thank you for everything, Akira Toriyama. You will be missed.
In early February, Sean Fitzgerald, Swampscott town manager, came under fire after an article was published about 2 age and gender discrimination complaints filed against him in 2020 and 2023. At the March 6th Select Board meeting, Select Board Chair David Grishman defended Fitzgerald, saying that the town investigated the complaints and found that he did not violate the town's harassment policy. Fitzgerald again responded to the complaints. I want people to understand these changes have been very difficult. But what has it helped us to do? It's helped us hire the most diverse number of individuals in the town's history. But the price I'm paying now is that I have individuals casting aspirations unfairly. Grishman stated that Fitzgerald will be required to take a refresher course on discrimination and sexual harassment.
Last Monday, a town meeting was held to discuss several articles, including the possibility of lowering the voting age. The article was to create a review committee that would examine and make recommendations to the select board and town meeting to increase voter turnout. This would include consideration of lowering the voting age to 17 or 16. Many people during the meeting expressed their concerns about this article. They believe that 17 and 16-year-olds are not mature enough to vote and do not understand the importance of it. 16-year-old James Delphippi spoke on the subject and believed that 16-year-olds should be able to vote.
However, we are not deemed responsible to have representation to vote on policies that affect ourselves and others around us. 16 and 17-year-olds are often the most affected by the decisions that are made here. Things such as climate change actions. Let's be honest, I'm around for the next 70 years. My kids will be around for the next lot more than that. Those are going to affect me far more, me and people my age far more than all of you guys. If you're looking for more benefits, thank you. If you're looking for more benefits, voting habits can be strengthened, as Mr. Spelios mentioned, by previous voting. So if we start young, there's more likely that there's a higher chance that there will be higher voter turnouts because we started so young. We pay taxes, just like you. I'm a government worker. I pay taxes to the town. I don't get a vote. That's taxation without representation, and I really hope some of you guys have taken a history class. That's all I have.
In the committee. However, we are yet to know if this will affect the voting age. Now we head to the atrium where Laurel interviews Madame Barrett, the Swampscott High School's French teacher, about their upcoming trip to France.
Thanks, Quinn. Today I'm here with Miss Barrett, interviewing her on the upcoming French trip. Miss Barrett, when will the trip take place?
We are actually leaving for France on which is in the centre towards the south of France, and we're spending 5 days in Lyon, and then we're going to do 5 days in Paris as well.
What were some of your favorite parts from previous trips?
Well, here at Swampscott, I've been on 2 school trips. We went to Quebec last year for the winter carnival, and we did snow tubing, tobogganing. We went to a sugar shack. That was great fun. I've also been to Spain on a school trip just over February break, and we went to Madrid. We went to Seville and to Malaga. That was a lot of fun. But I haven't actually been to France with a trip from Swampscott, only with my previous school.
Thank you. Where are you most excited to go?
I'm most excited about going to Paris because when I was 17 years old, I worked as an au pair in Paris, and I spent a year there going to school and looking after two little girls. I've been to Paris on a school trip with my previous school, and I'm really looking forward to taking my students there this year.
If kids can't make the trip this year, when are you planning for the next trip to be?
Okay, so next year we're definitely going to go to Quebec again, either in February or in March. Next year we will have some French students come over and stay with us here in Swampscott. I'll be looking for families to host those French students, and then we'll go back to France in 2026.
Thank you so much. Back to the news desk.
The town of Swampscott is remembering police officer Tom Lucas, who recently, after a long battle, passed away from cancer. As a community, we hate to see such a tragic loss. He was close with many people, even some of our fellow students in Swampscott. He impacted many lives before his departure. Rest in peace, Tom Lucas. Now we cut to the sports desk, where Dawson DiBarri gives us the latest news regarding the upcoming spring sports.
Tryouts for spring sports have begun this week for baseball, softball, lacrosse, tennis, and track, as we are officially into the 2024 spring season. Just as a reminder to all student athletes and parents that there is a mandatory 6:30 p.m. meeting for wellness and guidelines. If you have already attended the fall or winter meeting, you and your parents are only required to be there at the team-specific meetings afterwards. The second annual ROC March Madness at Swampscott High School was a major success once again, as the senior versus staff basketball game drew a huge crowd and was a ton of fun. The students beat out the staff for the second year in a row, as the final score was 65-61. More importantly, the game raised over $2,000 for the ROC and the ROC scholarships. It was an overall fun and great night for a great cause. That's all I have for sports today. Back to the news desk with Quinn.
Thank you, Dawson, and thank you for watching this episode of Big Blue News.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tune in next time.